How's it going, everybody? Merry Christmas. I know this is going up around Christmas. I'm not sure exactly when I'm putting it up. However, it should be around Christmas. And I've even got the PC behind me. The lights are themed to Christmas because I didn't know of any other way because I don't have Christmas lights. But that's okay. It is what it is. Today we're going to be talking about that PC, and there was supposed to be an entire build video dedicated to this PC, but I got frustrated almost immediately when building it because building on camera versus building by itself is way more annoying and hard and stupid. I figured in this video we would go over me talking about the benchmarks, which I've got a whole little book of the benchmarks that I did on it, how it handles video editing, and after I finish this video, I will put in the comments how long it took to render it, just because I'm very extra. Without further ado, roll the intro, and I'll talk to you in a minute about what happened. So it wasn't really a bad build experience, it was just annoying, right? Anything that wanted to go wrong went wrong. Cooler wouldn't mount properly, just like last time. The fans were being a pain in the ass, little fan hub that it came with. Everything became a pain in the ass, and that's just per the usual. But on a good note, it did boot into Windows on the first try, so that's a plus. I do still have the footage of the build, and after I explain the specs, I will throw highlights from that. And yeah, the audio is horrible because it's coming halfway off of my B cam and then halfway off of my A cam, which I love the Lumix G7, don't get me wrong, but the microphone in it is dog water. That's why I have a mic attached to the book that I'm using. That way when I get up nice and close and we can have a little bit of an ASMR session. Eventually I am going to get a shotgun microphone when I'm not filming in front of my bookshelf and all that, when I'm actually in front of the games or over here, really in spaces throughout the apartment. Because like I said in the update, this whole place is meant to be a filming place. Just to go over the core specs, we have a Ryzen 5 5700G. The NVIDIA GTX 1070 Ti that I had originally is still making an appearance just because the GPU market is insane right now. We've got 32 gigs of DDR4, 3200 megahertz Crucial Ballistics RAM. I want to say it's CL16, don't quote me on that though. It's got 2 terabytes of hard drive storage just for like my games library. And then to edit off of and to store important files, I've got a 1 terabyte NVMe drive. It is only PCI Express Gen 3. However, in terms of editing, the difference between Gen 3 and Gen 4 is negligible at best. So I didn't really feel like paying the extra like $100 to get a Gen 4 drive, because when I built all of this PC, I built it at Micro Center on Black Friday / Cyber Monday. So I paid about $400 less than the MSRP for the computer itself. I only paid about $1,000, not counting the graphics card, for this computer. Here are the highlights from that whole ordeal. And when that's over, we'll come back and we'll talk about the tests. How's it going, everybody? Today we're doing another PC build. Holy shit. I didn't think that it would... Hold on one fucking second. Roll the intro. And a bunch of pamphlets, stickers. If you want to show everybody that you are a virgin, there you go. And we've got a driver CD support disc. If you want to tell everybody you're a virgin, there you go. Strict thank you card, cable ties, rubber package, SSD, addressable RGB extension cable. Actually, don't know if I'll need that. ROG Strix Gaming fucking keychain to let everyone know that you're a virgin. And as good of a time as any to get out the where'd I put my knife? Where's my snifey snipe? The f is it? Sometimes I wonder how you're my cat. Because you're just stupid. Now I know. So, overall, it was a pretty well powerhouse. I did do some overclocking on both the GPU and the CPU. The GPU was a very mere like 400 megahertz memory boost, and then like less than 100 on the core clock, just because that's how it would stay stable, because it has been through 3 power outages, and I should be really not overclocking it at all, but I am just for the sake of it. And then the CPU is actually it's a much better overclock than what comes stock, because stock it boosts to 3.8 gigahertz, which is, it's good. Then the actual Asus motherboard that I have has a boost to 4.2, and then I boosted it even further to 4.5. So I do have all of the scores for the Cinebench. I'm gonna do just the 3 main ones because I did a few just to see where it would end up stable. I started at 4.3, went to 4.4, 4.45, 4.5, and actually got it up to 4.525, but the performance is within margin of error, so I just kept it at 4.5 just to be safe. But for Cinebench, we got 11,866 on the 3.8 out of the box bog standard clock. The Asus Prime overclock boosted it to 13,622. The 4.5 or the 4.45 that I got went to 14,420. Nice. And what really surprised me, that extra 500th of a gigahertz, which is about, I think it was like 50 megahertz, boosted us almost or over 300 points in Cinebench, which is really nice because, like I said, this is primarily an editing rig. Like, yeah, I game on it, but I edit a lot. I have a lot of videos that I need to work on for myself and other people. But that 14,805 is amazing. I can open up so many Chrome tabs, mainly because I have 32 gigs of RAM, but the CPU helps. It really does. In terms of gaming benchmarks, I wasn't really CPU bottlenecked in any of them. I do wish that the GPU was a little bit better just because it's older, but I'm not going to complain because it's a 1070 Ti in the current marketplace that we're in. For all of the games, I got their, most of them except Fortnite. Fortnite was on epic settings. All of the others were on 1080p, ultra settings, ultra or high depending on the game, just because GTX 1070 Ti's are not really like 1440p, plus all of my monitors are 1080p, so I game at 1080p. Sue me. But I did track the lows, averages, and highs. Like the lowest it got, the average I saw it sitting at, and then the highs it got to, the highest it got to. This is not a scientific test because my MSI Afterburner benchmarker did not work. So I just would jot it down in the book. The lowest I saw it go, I would mark it. The average I saw it at, I would mark it, or I would do math and whatever. And the highest I saw it go to, I would mark it. For GTA 5, the lowest we got was 74 frames a second, which even at the lowest, the 0.01 and 1% lows, 74 is still very consistent at 1080p ultra settings. The average was about 78, which again, very reasonable. I wish I would get it up into the hundreds, but I don't play GTA 5 enough for it to be warranted. And then the highest I got it to was 79. So, like I said, the 78 is a very nice, even, steady middle ground. Then Rocket League blows it out of the water. The lowest I saw it get to was 299 frames a second, with an average of about 350 frames a second. And then the highest was 560 frames a second, which is insane. It's actually astronomical. Valorant came in a very close second with 210s at the lowest, an average of about 250 to 260, and then the highest it got to, other than in the menus, was 320. Now in the menus, it was sitting at a crisp 600. But that's in the menus. Every game is really, really good in the menus. And lastly, the game that I tried the last, because it's a very popular game. It's not a game I play. Not even that I don't play often. It's a game I do not play. It's Fortnite. I have not played a game of Fortnite other than this one in 3 years. 3 years. And that was when Thanos first got released. 3 years ago. But me and my friend, we duo queued. We got lows of 86, an average of about 100, and then the highest it got to was 140. And again, in the menus, it was sitting at like 400, 500, 600. And then that one was on epic settings, which is the highest that the Fortnite settings can go, just because it looked like dog water on every other preset that it had. In that game of Fortnite that I hadn't played in 2 years, we got second place. Had I not been stupid, we would have gotten first. We would have gotten a Vic Roy. This game is for babies. Overall, I am extremely happy with this computer. The only thing I would change about it is maybe a little bit more RAM and maybe a new GPU. But for the games that I play and the things that I do, it works out pretty well. And I really do enjoy it. I do wish the finished video could have been better and I could have done the full build. But hopefully for y'all, the highlights were enough. And with all that being said, I promise, there will be videos coming out sooner rather than later about a bunch of things. The Switch. That's about it.